Good afternoon, y'all. It's Wednesday, April the 9th, and I'm making an old-fashioned supper from the 80s. It's nothing special, but it's what I used to cook when my husband and I were first married. I'm going to have poor man steak, white rice, and green beans. And I don't normally cook like this anymore because it's full of saturated fat and salt and all that sort of thing. But I've been I've been thinking, boy, that would taste good. So that's what I'm making. So I got the uh, started the onions with some bacon drippings. I'm gonna put the green beans in here after I get those onions sauteed. I'll even use some broth. I'm not going to measure it. I'm just going to put in what I would have done back then. I probably would have made my own chicken broth. I tended to do that quite a bit. Put some pepper in here. All right, I have 1 cup of rice with 2 cups of water. Put a little salt in there. Okay, the green beans, most of the liquid has been cooked out. That's what I want. I don't know about everybody else, but a lot of Southern cooks will cook their green beans until the most of the liquid is out. And I'm gonna turn the burner off and put the top on and let them sit there. And they have been seasoned with vegetable broth, black pepper, and some bacon drippings. I got the rice cooking. Let's see. Got my hamburger patty cooking. Okay. This little bit of cabbage has lasted me a while. I usually keep a leaf from the outer edge and cover the cabbage with it, and it keeps um, the part where you grated keeps it fresh and doesn't get all brown and everything. All right, now more bacon drippings. Oh my, about a tablespoon. I'm just going to leave that patty in there. Melt this bacon drippings. Get about a tablespoon of flour. We're going to make some gravy. We ate a lot of gravy back then. I'm going to stir that around. It looks like it needs more flour. And you want to cook it long enough for that flour to get cooked and get the color of brown that you want. Probably should have put my mushrooms and onions in, but that's okay. I'll just put them in now. Now, it was not common for me to put mushrooms in there because we couldn't afford mushrooms, but since I have them, I'm going to use them. Put in some onion so we can have mushroom onion gravy with our poor man's steak. You know, used to hamburger meat or ground beef, when my husband and I got married, it was about 99 cents a pound. This hamburger or this ground beef was $6.99 a pound. So at 99 cents a pound, it was a cheap meat. You could get chicken wings were cheap, short ribs were cheap, and country ribs were cheap, and so were neck bones. But when people started making a big deal out of cooking chicken wings, neck bones, short ribs, and country ribs, the prices shot up. And now they're, $4 a pound or more. But I used to cook those all the time because it was cheap to eat. Same as chicken. It was just much cheaper. So I'm just going to let that brown a little bit. Okay, I'm going to add a little salt and pepper. Of course, this would have been really good if I had sauteed the mushrooms and onions before I started making the gravy, but it'll still be good. All right, I think it's probably got browned enough. I can see brown on the bottom there. So I'm going to add water. And you say to yourself, well, why doesn't she add beef broth? Well, I told you it was a cheap meal. I couldn't afford to buy things like beef broth, because you can't make a meal off of beef broth. Yeah, it makes it taste better, but that was a luxury. A lot of times when I made out my grocery list, a lot of times I marked a lot of things off of there. Things like butter. You can't eat butter and make a meal out of that. So that's where the bacon drippings would come in. Okay. Now I'm just going to let that gravy cook up. Put just a little more water. Water is perfectly acceptable when you're making gravy. And if you like your gravy to be real brown, you just cook it longer. Let that flour and fat get darker and darker. Okay. I'm just going to let that cook for a little bit. Okay, the rice is ready. That was 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water, a little salt. When it was finished, I put about a tablespoon of butter on there, fluffed it around. Now I'm just going to let it sit until the meat and gravy are ready. Okay, everything's ready. I'm gonna fix my plate. Rice. Okay, the poor man's steak with the gravy. Green beans. Coleslaw. And I'll finish my dinner with the last of the fruit salad with a dollop of Greek yogurt on top. So there you go. Poor man's steak over rice with gravy, coleslaw, and green beans. Oh, Lordy, I wonder if I can eat all that. All right. I guess that'll be the end of the video. Y'all have a good evening, a good day, a good afternoon, and please remember to be kind to someone. Someone needs your kindness today. Bye.